Welcome to Sammy J, Pixels and Kilowatts. Well, I decided to just leave the studio and come back here, talk to you out in the open, beautiful weather. We're going to dive into the subject pretty quickly. Why? I had a lot of questions on why did I start this journey? Why we're talking about 35 millimeter? Why it's taken off so crazy in the past few years? Actually, if you go back and track the history of the revolution coming back of the 35 millimeter, it started like 10 years ago, and then it picked up about 7 years ago, and then went crazy after COVID, and the resurgence and the communities keep growing. So if you haven't heard of this, or you're watching this video and say what this guy is talking about, it's the 35 millimeter revolution, and it's going to be crazy in 2025. I just went to the zoo the other day, and I've seen a few people, all ages, loading film, and they, let me turn this baby on, loading film, and look at that. Do you hear that? Look at this. It's beautiful. So why this is happening? First of all, some of it is nostalgia. Some of it is the product itself. You touch it, you develop the film, you send it over, and you wait for it to come back, and then you're forced to print it. And there's all those scans, you can scan them and keep them and archive them, fine. But mostly is actually you can't edit. That's the beauty of this. Number one, you just can't edit. It is what it is at that moment, good or bad. There's nothing wrong with that. So nostalgia, and there's no editing, there's no photoshopping. It's the real moment. It's real. With this thing, when you take a picture and print it, it's real. We're losing reality in the age of AI and Photoshop. You don't know what's real and what's not. You go to Instagram now, they're gonna say, yeah, this developed by AI. With this thing, you get back to reality. You get back to good photography, not editing. Go back and sit on hours on your computer and do editing. So nostalgia, getting back to reality. Next is aesthetics. You cannot replicate the grain in digital photography. You just can't. And Fujifilm and others are trying to do that with recipes and all that, but it still comes out, too perfect. With this one, you get the grain. You get, every, like Kodak Color 400 and it's 200 and the different ISOs, and they call them ASAs now. It's just different. You gotta try to believe it. And if you're a photographer that have used this, you understand what I'm talking about. But for the folks that are trying to get into this, get you a camera, go on eBay or some website or Amazon and get you one about $100 or less and try it. It's a good investment. Again, aesthetics it's impossible and can never be replicated in digital. Next is mindfulness. With this, you have to think about the composition, about the moment, because you only have 24 or 36 pictures. You're not going 500 per event. So you're thinking more of the composition, of the subject, of the lighting. You're doing real photography. Honestly, that's where photography is. That's the birth certificate of photography. Is you're thinking about the whole setup, not about how many pictures I can take per second, about the equipment. I've said this before. We're so obsessed with the features and the megapixels, and we're not thinking about the set, the image, and the moment. So that, plus the process of developing film, it's immersive, it's exciting. It's the process, you load the film, you take the picture, you rewind the film. So there's something mechanical. You're getting engaged. It's not one way, it's two-way with this thing here. So it's immersive. It's, you feel you're part of the development process, and you send it in, and then you probably forgot what pictures you took, and then you get back and this excitement. But oh, I did this. Oh, instead of instant, I took a picture and with this mirrorless camera, and boom, I looked at him, and then I never looked at him again. With this thing, you're gonna cherish the moment, the excitement. I mean, you just have to do it to feel it. When the pictures come in, and here's the funny part. The worst pictures will be your best. I don't know if this makes sense, but even if it's a bad picture, you're gonna love it, especially if it's in black and white. By the way, black and white in any form is gonna look good. If you don't agree with me, put some notes here in the description or comment section and let me know. Have you taken black and white pictures? Are you using this? What's your journey in 2025? This thing is taken off. I mean, we don't want to just jump on the bandwagon because everybody's doing it. I want to do it. You gotta, if you want to do something like this, it needs to be your passion. It needs to be, hey, I want to try something new. It doesn't, passion. You're not born with passion. That's a bunch of BS. You train yourself along the way in this journey. You train yourself on a hobby. You train yourself on a job, etc. Try something new. I'm trying something new, and I'm sharing this journey with you. And I'm telling you, it's mental health. It's transforming me from the inside out. It's like I'm slowing down on a lot of things now. I just can't believe something like this affects your life. Before, it's like we're on the speed lane, 100 miles an hour, and then they're just competing. I don't know if you agree or not, but every photographer is competing with the second photographer, I'm Nikon, I'm Canon, and this is 100 megapixels and all that. But with this thing, it's gonna slow you down if you like it or not. But it's gonna slow you down in the proper way. It's gonna get you down thinking about the composition. So you are part of the process when you're using this. Next is the learning process. Now the cameras are so automatic, even when you put it on manual, is still doing your light metering and doing a bunch of things automatically, no matter, even if you put it in full manual on the other cameras. But with this thing, I mean, I have a lot of experience in photography. When I started using this thing, I felt, I'm in third grade. It's like, hey, why this not focusing? You need to manual focus and understand where the light's coming from. So it gets you back to 101, photography 101. And frankly, it teaches you the basics again, because along your journey, we got spoiled with everything auto. Okay, pick up my phone and boom, or Android device, and just take thousands of pictures that nobody's gonna look at. And then the selfies, all selfies, doesn't matter which country you're from or which area you took the selfie, they all look the same, because most of the time you just see faces, you don't see the background. With this one, you can do selfie. Anyway, is the new communities of 35 millimeter springing up all over the place. Just go whichever town you're in or country in or your city in, just type in. I just typed in yesterday 35 millimeter groups, and I was shocked. I live here for a long time, but I didn't know that group / community existed. They have their own lab now, and you can actually, it's like a community lab. You can go and process your own film. So and it's all the young generation created this. What's going on? So it's re-emerging because they found value in it. Anytime in anything there is value in it, you're gonna embrace it. If it makes sense to you, you're gonna embrace it. And next, the most important things is you're limited in shots. Like we said this before again, is use 24 or 36. I think there's maybe some film even in 12 shots, but I'm not sure. I know there's 24 and 36, mostly black and white, 24, and color is 36. So you're limited. You're not just going willy-nilly, boop, 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 boop. You're thinking. No lizard brain here. It's focus. Again, boring is out, interesting is in for 2025, for the next year. You're gonna focus, You're going to get engaged in the community. You're going to learn something new. Again, that's my journey. What's your journey? Let me know. If I'm missing something, or you're on a different journey that you might help me, I might help you, I don't know. Because this channel is about community, about embracing this change and getting back to basics and really enjoying photography. Again, what I'm shooting with this, I don't know. It's solid, it's metal, it feels good, you know, and the sound of it, it's just amazing. Next, 35 millimeter give you specific artistic specifics or choices that digital cannot replicate. So it has an artistic choice for you that you're making. The grain, it doesn't have to be, it's not in megapixel here. You got 400 film, 200 film, the ASA, I think American Standard Association or ISO, International Standard Organization, that's the amount of light. So 400 you can use in dim light, and 200 to 100 ASA of the film you put in here using daylight. So you're focusing mostly on aperture and shutter speed, and you're manually focusing, and you can blur things out. So again, we keep talking about these, and these are basic things, but when I started doing that here, it's like I'm like a 3-year-old baby. It's like, why it's not working right for me? So you start paying attention to different elements in your scene again. And lastly here, this thing is going crazy. For the last 10 years and for the next 10 years, this will never go away. This will never go away. I mean, the prices, I was looking at just in a few months, the prices of 35 millimeter on eBay is like, hold on, what's going on here? Now it's in the 200 and 300. I look at the Nikon, it's like in the 500 range, $500 range. But again, you don't have to go crazy, because again, we don't want to focus on equipment. We said that before. Any one of these, frankly, I own a few of these now. They're all the same. I mean, you got the shutter, it's all, they even look the same. So don't worry about the features, because you need to get one that's manual, and then manual focus. The battery is only for the light meter, basically. Anyway, this is the Canon AT1. It's beautiful. It's aperture priority, but no, I can do also shutter priority here. And it's a 50 millimeter lens. So anyways, I hope this inspired you and give you a lot of good information, but this thing is alive and will be for generations to come.